Hey everyone, Sketch Card Hive here, and today we're going to be having another iteration of our collector guide to character collecting. Thank you all so much for the support. All of you have done an amazing job at watching these and contacted me and starting your own collections, and I just really appreciate people taking the time to tune in. These are going to be consistent and continue, and I'm excited for us to start moving right along. And I definitely would take the time to look at some back episodes. I'll be making posts soon enough and kind of reorganizing my YouTube so everyone can kind of look at some of the different shows, some of the things we've done in the past. And I will be doing roundtables with character collectors, character card breaks as well. And we'll be doing a bunch of crazy cool stuff as well. Remember, a lot of people I have on this show are people that I value as character collectors and collectors in general. Um, this person is no different. I'd like to introduce you to, which he needs no introduction because I'm sure a lot of you know him, Michael Salter.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Cool card life. I met Michael. Well, I knew of you. So character collecting is one of these things where, like, when you can't find certain cards or certain things are being graded and you don't know the person, there's always this black hole kind of thing happening, right? It's like you see everything, but nothing's there,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of what happened with you. I would see Wolverine cards being graded on BGS. I would see tons of grades on BGS. And I was kind of always really like, who is this person who is grading at this level? And not only grading at this level, but achieving such a interesting range of grades, right? Like tens, black labels, and just like stuff that just is so the amount of boxes and the amount of things you have to open to achieve that is beyond me. And I remember talking to Spidey, and Spidey found you, and then that's how I met you through there. But crazy thing was is that your Flickr account for your Wolverine collection had been on the internet for a little while, and I had stumbled upon that
Oh,
character collecting like me. And I
okay.
was like, I didn't realize that was you until later, until after Spidey met you. And I was like looking at the collection, and I would look at it, and I would look at it just in awe because it just doesn't exist, right? And your Wolverine, the collection I saw was Wolverine. Is Wolverine your main squeeze?
He's my top guy for sure. Yep. Yep.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about. I know you've probably talked about this, so whatever you want to talk about is totally up to you. But kind of what started this, and not why BGS, because BGS is a great company. What I mean by that is like why grade at that level, and what are you hoping to achieve by grading Marvel at that level, which is not crazy. It's crazy for Marvel cards at the time because nobody else was like taking it seriously enough. And I know you're a huge fan and you understand them really well. So just a little bit about how this all kind of started.
Okay. Yeah. No. So, and when you started out, you mentioned something about a round table, and I got really excited. So, if you do something with a few character collectors and they're anything Wolverine or really any character, I'd be honored to be on again. That sounded
I
fun.
think I think I'm gonna do like an X-Men blue team. I think I'm gonna
Okay.
do like the Defenders and just have like each character represented by their collector and just have like a little round table talk about it.
Sounds
And like
fun.
maybe it's gonna be fun. We're gonna do
Yeah.
a lot of really cool stuff, and I'm very grateful to you for saying you'd be a part of it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So, it all started for me as a kid. I was probably 9 or 10, saw some Marvel cards, and but the biggest set that made the biggest impact to me was the 92 Marvel Masterpieces. Just buying those packs at that age was magical. You know, the Juiceco artwork, the battle cards, trying to complete the sets. Just that's where it really started was 92 Masterpieces. There was really cool cards before that, but 92 was I just fell in love with it, right? So
Yeah.
it's hard not to love that one. Yeah.
No, it's a benchmark set. And
Yeah.
like I remember talking to Bob Budiansky, who was the special projects editor at the time and kind of one of the people, well, the person who kind of came up with the idea with his team. And just decisions to make it's weird because and Marvel's having this issue now too. And I've learned this by talking to a lot of collectors and not understanding. And this is a question I want to ask you because I think you're actually the perfect person to ask this question, which was not planned. But um, people don't take Marvel cards as seriously as they should. It's
Yeah.
very strange. And I've learned that all of us have been touched by the Marvel gods in terms of cards, especially in my age bracket, like all of you guys, right? Or like just recently collectors coming in are like, yeah, this makes total sense why this is like awesome. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I what has been some of, because you've done the selling, because you've graded tons, you've sold cards, you're like a, you're a pillar, right? You're one of these big figures in the hobby. What do you consider, do you think the reason is why that people are still not that we need a bigger audience. I don't want more competition. That's not what
Sure.
I'm saying.
Sure.
But
Sure. Yeah.
I
Right.
don't want to be collecting with a collecting surfer amongst the people I'm already collecting surfer with. I don't want more
Right.
competition.
Right. Right.
But why do you think that is? What do you think is happening there in terms of people not understanding that?
I think honestly, and this is just me guessing,
Yeah.
right? I'm
All
guessing. It's my best
speculative, all
guess.
guessing,
Right.
just
Sure.
discussion.
Sure. I think it's a matter of the masses not knowing they even exist, not even knowing Marvel cards are out there. They've heard of baseball cards, they've seen sports cards, but the non-sports, it just hasn't caught on in terms of the masses, I guess, knowing about it, you know. And our group, the community, the people that do collect Marvel cards, I mean, they see the value. And obviously, the last few years, everything blew up, and we fought over these cards. But you know, but before these were even worth as much as they are now, I just remember just being obsessed with wanting every Wolverine card ever made, and the hunt, the chase, right? That's exciting. It's like treasure hunting, and you're building something and you're accomplishing things. And next thing you know, you've got Wolverine cards from the 90s and sets, and you're like, well, I only need a few more other characters to complete this really cool set. And you start to get in a set building, and I don't know. It's just been a blast. It's just a lot of fun. So if I didn't answer one of your questions, ask it
No,
again.
you did great.
Okay.
You did great. No, you answered it perfectly.
Okay.
Don't
Okay.
even worry about that.
Okay.
I think I think one of the great things you said, among the other great things, was that it does, when you get one, it kind of leads you to the next, right?
Yeah.
And it does become this hunt, an investigative journey. Like
Yeah.
for character collectors out there, I don't think people understand how deep the well goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've seen you post things and I'm like, there's no way. Michael would not know about this unless he was really deep in this. Like
Yeah.
there's certain cards I see and I'm just like, wow, I never thought he'd find that Wolverine, or like I only heard about that Wolverine through you or through someone else.
Sure. Yeah.
So what has been some of the cards you found where you were just like taken back by, that were just off the beaten path, that you were just like, oh, this is such a cool find. I need to find more of these. Like do you have any, I'm sure you have tons of stories, but do you have any that come to mind?
The 1984 Mattel Secret Wars action figure has little mini paper discs, you can call them, right? Right.
Yeah.
And one
Uh-huh.
of them's 3D. I think one of them's not. There's 2 to 4 in there. I don't remember the count, but I remember looking at that and thinking that would be so freaking cool if Beckett graded this and it could
Yeah.
be cataloged in Wolverine's collection. So my obsession, I didn't know how deep the well went. I still don't. I still am discovering
None
new
of us
cards,
do.
right?
I still finding things I don't know
Yeah.
exist. It's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that to me is another element of how fun this is. If you are a character collector, is discovering cards you didn't even know existed, or discovering, like I remember I used to grade the Michael Jordan coins from the Michael Jordan figures back in the 90s. And that made me think of, okay, let's try to grade the Mattel little inserts. And so that was really special to have something that old from that figure, which is really expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, I think $500 in decent condition. So
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff
Yeah. And
like
then
that.
like figure cards and figures too are tricky because the
Yeah.
yellow on the plastic.
So true.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the real tricky part. I actually just found, gosh, was this a couple of months ago now? Time is gone for me. But I finally found a surfer card in an action figure.
Oh, that's
Because it's
awesome.
usually X-Men. It's
Yeah.
usually X-Men,
It
and it's
is.
not usually like cosmic characters, and like it's a power blast, flare power blast on top of that. 95.
Wow. From
I
95.
know.
That's awesome.
95.
Yeah.
And I always look through the toys too, because I'm just like, let me just double check. Because
Just
it's
in
so
case.
cool to have that opportunity to have a card in the toy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And then the whole, like, one day I Googled food promo Marvel trading cards, right? And I find these different websites, and you have like all these cards that were in toothpaste boxes and cereal boxes in the 80s and 90s. And it just opens up a whole nother world of cards. And instead of buying a pack, you buy a toy to get the card, right? So
Yeah, it's the best. It's
yeah,
absolutely the best. Like, I think this is the Purdue chicken one that has
yeah,
Surfer on there,
yeah.
and I did an interview with Julie Bell and Boris,
Uh-huh.
right? And she still had the piece at the time or something like that, and it's like 10 feet. Like, this thing is like a wall, and
Wow.
it's the image that they use for their Purdue chicken card.
Wow.
And
That's
it's a miraculous image, and it's just, like, completely shocking that
wow.
that's a Julie Bell Surfer. It's nuts,
Yeah.
and it was used on, the wallet cards. My god, my favorite were the wallet cards. You remember the wallet
Yep.
cards.
Yep.
Best. Collect all 8. I think there's, like, a lot of them. I think there's 8 of them in a lot for sale on eBay now or something like that. I don't know the seller or anything like that, so I
Yeah.
have to look. But crazy, just a crazy thing to find, and to find Julie Bell art on top of that Marvel Masterpiece 96 artist. Crazy.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a
So,
lot of those. I bought a lot of those. The Purdue chicken packs where some of them are messed up inside right. So
yeah.
it was so cool to keep buying the packs to search for the better condition ones because the centering's off. So yeah.
Yeah, center is, but they have nice foiling on them. Like,
Yeah,
it's
they do.
weird.
They do. Yeah.
They would do. It's not like it's a bad looking card. It's
Yeah.
not. It's just a crazy way. It's just an absolute nut card to find. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So let me just make sure. Look at the comms here. I do Hawk, and there's a lot of cards. And holy crap, I'm also like, good, William. Remind me of that because I'll probably have you on for the Defenders Roundtable because I need a Hulk. So there you go. Hey, Madness,
Josh.
Gibbs nerds, what's up, buddy? Fun collecting with Michael. Yeah.
You too.
Definitely some gems out there, 100%. Yeah. I think that's the cool thing too. Like, so in terms of modern Marvel, because I've seen you take the deep dive on vintage, people have seen on Spider Hits the massive collection you have of sealed and open cases and things you're hunting for. And I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you what you're looking for or stuff like that. But there are 2 questions I have. One being, what's the set that's really still tough to 10 and to get at least a 9.5 and everything? Because I kind of started that journey because of you and others who are driving me crazy, looking for 9.5s for the surfers. And I did all the base surfers and one of every parallel. So I didn't do team appearances. I didn't do appearances, or trying to think of the other ones. Team appearances.
Or like if he's in the background, like on a
That's
Galactus
it.
or something, like a
That
yeah,
kind of stuff. I didn't touch any of that stuff.
yeah.
I have the master. I have all those cards, but I didn't do the whole hunting for 9.5s. I just keep with the best surfer because I admire you, man. I'm just not there.
All
I'm just
right.
not at that level. But you know what? Because I know I had tough ones, man. The QFX Silver Surfer was a bastard, and I finally got the 9.5,
Yeah.
and I couldn't believe it. And I went through like over 30 copies of that card to
Yeah.
figure it out. What has been kind of like the real hump for you, and one that you achieved already? Because I don't want you to, I don't want you to increase competition for yourself.
Well, there's one that's common that I want to say that I don't have that I used to have that I think it'll be easy to find. It's the 94 Fatal Attractions Wolverine Magneto pulling the metal out of Wolverine, the insert card. If that I used to have that in Gem Mint, and I feel like that's going to be attainable for sure.
Yeah,
And I'll take any grading company in Gem Mint. I'll trade massive for that card because I'm trying to complete that set.
I mean
So
that is, God, talk about one of the most iconic cards in like
love
Marvel
it.
cards
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Love
have to
it.
do a big one. We're gonna have to do a massive like 10-person roundtable and just really have a voting of like what we think is like some of the craziest cards that like, because like when you see them, like Dave DeVries's Wolverine from Flair Ultra, right, where
Yeah.
he's coming down with the claw.
Yeah.
I feel like that takes everyone immediately back to
It's
Marvel
special.
cards.
It's special.
They're
Yeah.
special. They're
Yeah,
interesting,
definitely.
and they're very memorable, and they become somewhat of a flagship for Marvel cards in general, which I
Yeah.
think is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'd be cool to talk about.
Yeah, man. The one of the hardest sets is from DC versus Marvel. The the Hollow FX set, and I've got 2 gem mints of that set. Definitely trying to get the rest in the DC Impact insert sets. They're 3D. A lot of those I think are Julie Bell art, right?
Yeah,
Those are so tough. Like Nines are rare, right? Of that whole set, as you know. Super.
Miserable.
Yeah. And then 92 masterpieces is interesting. Some boxes, you might have half the box in gem mint, right? And then other boxes, even if they don't brick, you might have maybe 5 or 10 in gem mint, like a few, right?
It's
It's kind of
really weird.
on those, yeah.
It's
You
really
can
weird.
hit the jackpot on those boxes sometimes, though. You
You
really
would
can.
know. You would know better than I do. I
Yeah,
always
you
hear
really
it.
can. Some
Yeah,
of them, it's just you're going to get pristine tens. Like sometimes 92 is strong in terms of
that's
condition.
amazing.
Yeah,
And that's really great because I think it's crazy. People forget that, like, you hear about a strong set that comes out really clean,
yeah,
but you have to remember too, like, it's 92 mm. How many people are going to want that either now or down the line,
yep,
full 10 set? Because
yep,
it really is one of the sets that kind of changed the course of Marvel
yeah.
cards at the time. You know what I mean? For a lot of us, I think.
I
Yeah,
think
hit the right time.
no, you're right. You're right. I think that it is going to be, if not already, the most sought after set to collect either in nine or gem mint condition with any grading company. I think it's either there or getting there. I'm just kind of
It
looking at
has to be. Like,
yeah,
I
I think
think
it's up.
I think of MU90,
Yeah,
I think of MM92, and I
uh,
think of MM96
yeah,
because those are the conversations I hear a lot of people
yeah,
trying to do full 10 sets.
yeah,
Like, that's what I always catch. I'm sure there's others, and I don't know everybody. So,
yeah,
I'm sure I don't know. And I'm sure a lot of you are really smart and doing Flair Ultra or other really good sets, and I'm
yeah.
just, giving you more time to do it. But you know what I mean? It's pretty serious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty serious. So doing those sets and that kind of stuff, you have opened a lot of products. And I was interested in asking you this. What's a box that you just get pure joy from? Regardless of it being in shit shape or whatever happens, sorry, I curse. So you're gonna have me curse every once in a while. I'm sorry, everybody. I try to behave, but I'm a sailor at heart. you know,
Yeah.
what's a box that just gives you pure joy when you open it?
94 Marvel Universe with the holograms, the search for those. That is just such a fun box to me.
It's the
Uh,
best.
it's so
Suspended
fun.
animation, freeze frame,
Yes,
holograms.
yes, all
Such
the
a good
different.
diversity of a box.
Yeah, I love that box. That's a fun box. The 96 box was special because it was special. And
That was
and
awesome, by the way. I
and dude,
love
I
it.
don't
If
know
you
if
guys
you
haven't seen that video,
yeah,
please check out the YouTube channel for Cool
it
Cards
was
Live.
so fun. Yeah, yeah. And I've got this on YouTube too, so this number might be off a little bit, but I think I pulled 40 to 45 gem mints out of that box, which is great.
That's an amazing box.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And
Wow.
Josh and I are going to open up another one at the end of this month or in August. So
What?
yeah,
Really?
I'm going to do
Would
the
that
same
be
thing.
your channel and Madness, or just so people know?
Good question. I think it's going to go on his and then stream on mine too. I think he's going to host it and then it'll stream on mine. I think that's how we're going to do it.
So everybody knows Marvel Madness MCU right here. Check
There he
out
is.
the Insta, go to the YouTube, does great stuff. Michael does great stuff. And they're collaborated on this, and that'll be an awesome box break. Wow, that's cool.
And
Wow.
Josh, you got to message me that what you just the comment, or I'm going to forget that, man. That's interesting. Please send that message. Magnetic little Wolverine mega. I can't picture what that looks like. Yeah. All right.
I
I'm
have
going to
the
ask about
surfer
that
one.
later. You got it?
It's I have the surfer one.
Oh,
It
yeah.
does come with a little card. I actually have to find that.
Is
Damn
it
it.
gradable?
I don't know. I
Okay.
know CGC is now grading everything. It
Uh-huh.
took me a while to get the database with them to get it right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was a lot of work. It was
I
a
bet
lot of
it
work. I
was, man.
just didn't. There were certain cards out there that people were grading, and you know this. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? We talked about this, but there's certain cards that people were grading that just were cut from uncut sheet in promos. Like, they
Right.
weren't single cards, so they shouldn't be cut out. They should be graded as a whole. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Which I've
Yeah.
seen Beckett do,
Yeah.
but they should just be graded as a whole, not cut and then lied about. So
Yeah.
I went through every set just to make sure. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
just to be careful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so good. Oh my gosh, the mega blocks. Thank you, Madness. I forgot about that. Here we go. Oh, wait, where are you, Living Face? Menokar has a
Yes.
confidential list. I think so.
Good
Good.
news. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna check it out.
That's awesome. Thank you, Madness.
Thank you.
Good man. Good man. Okay, beautiful. So I love that answer about 94 Universe. People forget how awesome that box is.
Oh,
That's a good one.
so fun. and
That's
affordable still. You know, it's not crazy. So
it's not crazy, and those and arguably those are the best holograms in the world. I mean, Surfer's in it, so I'm super biased, but it is
yeah,
100% one of my favorite things they've ever done because 'cause they're based on a sculpture. I don't know if you knew that. I
wow,
think
I
we
did
talked
not
about that.
know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're based on a sculpture. They're
Oh,
not based on art, which is crazy.
wow.
I
You've
tried to
got
find it.
you got one or two gem mints of the Surfer hologram.
Oh god, I wish I have
I thought you had one, maybe not. Of the one,
I wish. I don't have a there's very few of the Gem Mint hologram surfer from '94. I was
definitely.
able to get a Gem Mint of this hologram from '90, and I have a PSA
Ooh,
9, but I
aw-
have a real PSA 9 because
yeah.
people forget that there could be water damage on it. Sorry, my cat wants to make an appearance. What's up, cat? Um, People forget that those holograms in a 9, there's chipping on them, they're off centered,
Yeah.
they don't always 9. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nice.
yeah. I would love to like have like a full 10 collection of all 4 colors, but
Yeah.
that's basically asking for the moon. So
That's a lot. Yeah. Possible, but a lot.
a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
You have to know your limitations as a character collector.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. It's true.
So, what's a major thing you learned on this journey? Because like I don't think people realize how deep you went and like how amazing the collection is. And I should really suggest you people follow Michael on his Instagram to really kind of see the brevity of the situation here, because it's miraculous. What's like a big lesson you learned going down this road and grading these things and like opening as many boxes as you have and spending time with Marvel cards because there's just not a lot of people that have spent the kind of intense time that you have with them. You know what I mean in terms of boxes and
Yeah.
I just seen what you've done, and I've seen I've seen your closet now, so I definitely know you've been down this road pretty hard.
Yeah.
What was a big lesson for you while doing this stuff?
I think it was interesting because I started out opening up thousands of boxes for years and years and years, right? Most of my life. And then opening up those boxes and learning first how many gem mints can come from each box in any grade. I mean, from any character, right? And then, because that helped me determine how many boxes to get, what boxes to buy, because I'm going for the gem mints and a lot of sets and Wolverines. That's where it started. But
Yep.
in addition to learning that, was learning, okay, the last couple of years, everything kind of went crazy on prices. How much money can I make from a box? So it started out not about the money. Now it's
Yeah.
both. Sometimes I'm trying to make some good money. Sometimes I'm not. Depends on the card, depends on what it is. But now it's like really cool to know, okay, so this box costs 300 bucks. If I get it, I'm going to get an average of 50 gem mints and then I'll make a profit of 3,000 bucks. Like those numbers are like really cool just to know with a lot of boxes. And that happened to me accidentally. I didn't know that for the money. I knew that because I've been just opening boxes my whole life. It just kind of
See,
happened
but
that way.
that's people forget that though, and
Yeah,
I admire that about you because I remember seeing you. It was on a video where you had your booth up, and you sold me cards. I've bought cards for Michael's. I vet Michael's collection and his knowledge, and I trust him completely. And he knows my list.
yeah,
That's how you know you're real friends with somebody when they know your list. Um,
that's true.
and yeah, right, it's true.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think what people forget is that money becomes like I never thought money from Marvel cards. Like who the would have
yeah.
thought
No,
that? I
me
was
neither.
really not. No
Yeah,
way. I
yeah,
knew I was spending money, but I didn't know I could like have knowledge that would I could have money from knowledge,
right,
right?
right.
And I've sold cards, for great profits and, always to good collectors, I hope, and people who really enjoyed them and not price gouging. Most people just give me numbers or they realize the numbers or you just have an understanding of like, look, I've done this, I've seen this. And for me, it's not opening boxes that I know, it's the amount of people I know and the people who tell me things and the people I've heard explain to me what they've tried to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Having that library of contacts for me as a collector was really eye-opening to seeing what was the stuff that is A, unobtainable, or B, have never been seen.
yep,
And I don't think people realize that most hobbies right now are being claimed by live streamers, which I know the irony of that. But most hobbies are being claimed by people who are looking to, you know, capitalize on the market, understand the market, stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are losing the hobby knowledge.
Yeah.
And that's the part that scares me, is that there's a lot of people who don't want to show their face. So on this channel, I just spoke to someone. We might have someone who's like old guard, like old school, like scary, like secret sketch collection from 97, 98, like crazy
Cool.
person type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just going to keep them in the dark, and they can text me, and it'll just be that kind of conversation, because a lot of people don't want to be known. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but the problem is that having people who, that's why I'm so excited to talk to you, because you share so much. Dude, I had no idea about you, bro. Like at all. And you've been like in this for a while.
Yeah. Since 90, 91 ish. Definitely. Yeah.
Crazy. That's
Yeah.
just crazy. And this hobby's so small that whenever it's like that, I'm just like so surprised. I'm just like, and again, not like I know everyone, but eventually you meet somebody who's been doing this for so long. I'm sure you've had that experience where you're like, okay,
Yeah.
finally I figured out where this was all going and who I was bidding against and who I
All
was
the
fighting.
time.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Regularly. Yeah.
yeah,
For sure.
regularly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this might be tough to ask you, and I'm asking you because I'm excited. So
Okay.
no worries if you can't answer, but
Okay.
what's a Wolverine card that transports you back? You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
one that you look at and you're just like immediately like you're there. Remember pulling it, remember you're excited about it, that kind of
The
stuff.
yeah, there's two. There's two. Can I give two?
Yes, you can
Yeah.
give two, of course.
There's probably like 100, but I'll stick to
Yeah.
two, right? Right. So the 90 hologram Wolverine, right? Like I love that one. And
It's the
then
best. It's
it's
so
the best.
good.
I love it. It's like, yeah, yeah. And then the 92, any 92 with Wolverine on it, Marvel Masterpieces, his base, the promos, the two promos, the battle card, any of those. Yeah, those are special to me. Yeah.
And they say prototype on the back, right? The promo for your Wolverine?
One says prototype. The other one is like blue at the top. And
Yes,
it's,
that's Surfer too. Okay, Surfer
yeah,
has that one too. Okay.
yeah.
Surfer doesn't have a prototype, so I always forget which ones have both.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. You got the sealed magazine and stuff too. Have you graded a sealed magazine with the polybag with the card in there still?
No, I always took the card out and just,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. That would be interesting to have though. That graded.
I don't
that
have my
magazine.
I don't even have one for Wolverine. I have the two Surfers, but I don't have the Wolverine.
Yeah.
I had the Hulk once, but I gave it to a Hulk collector.
Yeah.
I was just looking. I was like, do I have that still? But no, it was a Hulk one, not a Wolverine.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Let me look at the comments, make sure. Hey, Ryan's on here. I'm freezing up every minute or two. I'm so sorry. There's a terrible storm. Hopefully the lag is lessening. Apologies for that, but I will fix the video if I need to and kind of fix that up. But thank you, Ryan. Sorry again, guys, if I am coming in like that. Can promo cards be counterfeited? That's a good question. What you think, Michael?
For sure. Yeah.
There's a lot of counterfeiting stuff going around.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only going to get worse with us because we're new and the hobby is small. So it's going to get worse. What are some counterfeit cards you've seen? Because you've graded so many and you've authenticated a lot. And I'm sure Beckett right now, if they're not, they should. They utilize you as, one of their, kind of like what CGC is doing with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
yeah, absolutely.
use your collection as a base.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's I don't know how many variations of Marvel Pepsi cards there are in terms of Venezuelan, Mexican, like I don't, three maybe.
I
Maybe
think there's
more?
three. I showed them. I
Three?
just showed them off when I had Johnny on here because
Okay.
there's a Guatemala, Spain, and is it Venezuela? I think.
Yeah. I thought there was a Mexican one too, but I don't know, man.
It might be Mexican. It might not be Spain. It might be Mexican.
Yeah, yeah. So
But I think there's three.
yeah. So I saw a set of the prisms on eBay, and I thought that was a set that I just didn't know about. But you helped me actually with that, and I think you messaged me, and I was asking you, and they were counterfeit, so I just returned them, got my money back, all good. But still, I was excited at first. I thought it was a new hologram prism set from one of those variations. But yeah, so see, I'm learning now, like all the
I do
time,
too. I do
regularly.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know either. I looked at it. I had to ask 3 other people who collect it far harder than I do. Like,
yeah,
they have the folder and the box and everything. I was like, "What is this?" Like, "No, this happened in the past too, where it was just photocopied, and you can see the lines on it. It's just not real."
right, right. Yeah. But I
It's
haven't seen any other counterfeit cards that come to mind lately. I'm sure
No,
there's others, but I can't think of any others right now recently. So
I always be careful of autographs because
yeah,
I made sure to put autographs that are not pack pulled and green labels because it's really prevalent in Marvel to
yeah,
have a convention signed card and then to say that that was a pack pulled
yeah. That's not good. Yeah,
one.
yeah,
That's not good. No,
yeah.
because I wish there was a 92 pack pulled Just Go card, but they're not. The only two variation things you have that are official, well, now you don't need quotations, they're actually official, is the dynamic forces out of 5,000 and then the buybacks from 16.
What year? What are the dynamic forces? What is that from? I can't
Same
picture that.
year. You want to see the certificate of authenticity?
Yeah,
You want to see it? I'll show it to
yeah. Okay, cool.
you. Yeah, I'll show it to you because it's cool. I don't think I showed it to you before, and maybe I'll take you over there. You know what I started doing?
What's that?
Tracing paper between binder pages
Oh,
because they scratch up.
yeah.
It's
I like
psycho
it.
stuff. I know. I'm aware.
Yeah. Keep
But
keeping it nice and fresh and mint, huh? I like it. I like it.
just that kind of guy. Let's see.
Uh-huh.
Here you go. So, light,
It's like somebody
light.
comes over to my house and they want to hold a crumb. Like, are your hands clean? Did you wash your
Are your
hands?
hands clean? You know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. So you have the 5,000.
Love that, man. Love that.
Took forever. I passed on it because I thought it was too much money. And then it popped up 4 years later, and I just didn't. It was the same amount, and I was like, whatever, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
But this is the back, and not the back of the card. This is a separate card that I put in the back of the thing.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
this is a separate card. It says this, and it reads: Dynamic Forces Inc. has issued the certificate of authenticity to set Marvel Masterpieces trading card as one of the limited edition of 5,000 signed and numbered by artist Joe Jusko.
That's
And on
awesome.
the reverse side of this is the DF logo.
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a gold little card that they put together.
I love it. Yeah. Well, CGC grade that one?
The COA or the card?
The card?
The card. They'll
Yeah.
grade the card. I already told them and send in like the photos and stuff. I was like, this is real. This
Awesome.
can get a blue label. Because
Awesome.
it was part of the official set release. Because there's
Yeah.
like I don't remember what it is, but basically it's a promotional kind of like advert that Marvel did with them.
Okay.
And you remember the Dynamic Forces doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? Doing all the sign stuff. I think there's a Dynamic Forces signed QFX card as well.
I think so.
Spider-Man. It's
Yeah.
Spider-Man. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that exists.
That's nice.
Am I coming in any better or am I still freezing?
Little of both, but
A little both.
yeah.
Okay. Got True Blue here. Good afternoon, gents. Nice to make it live. Yeah, I'm trying. Finally caught one of these lives. Hey, thanks, Jake. another major collector I'm going to be having on here very soon. Jake and David. Crazy beast collector, David. Same level of sickness as you and I.
Awesome. Who's his character?
Beast.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool. So in terms of modern sets and how has your collecting shifted? Because I know you very much have since 91 looking at boxes, getting into boxes, going down this level. Are you paying attention to a lot of modern sets? Is this something that you see being a problem for you? How much are you going to keep going? Like what are some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so the highest priority favorite definitely 80s and 90s cards by far. That's where the importance lies, right? That's it. And then so I fought newer cards. I was like, I'm not collecting newer cards. I fought it and fought it from probably, I don't know the years, '05 to 2010 maybe for a few years. And then um, Marvel Rittenhouse, the archives comes out, Universe comes out, their products comes out, and it was just mind blowing what they were doing with comic cuts and they're just such good quality, right? By Rittenhouse. And you send in rewards before Disney bought Marvel, you send in rewards and get the rewards cards. And yeah, yep, that Surfer, love that card, man. Yep, I love it. So that really got me hyped about modern cards was the Rittenhouse products for sure. And now I definitely don't get every new product. I just, I got to draw the line somewhere. And I kind of cherry pick my favorite new releases. Just when, if it has to do with a little bit of Wolverine and there's some serial numbered ones in there, some chances at some big pulls, I'll definitely get some of that. So,
I
yeah,
like that. That's
yeah,
that's what I'm doing too. I
yeah.
I I have every card and I'm up to date, but the graded collection I think is like officially stopping at 2014.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I stopped the graded collection officially stops at 2014. I have the other ones because I have no willpower, but I stopped at Marvel 75th because I
yeah.
was just like, it's just such a good like, and it's like right before his band, so it's like made sense. You know what I mean? To
What did
stop
you
there.
mean right before his band? What do you mean by
Well,
that?
remember, like the Fantastic Four characters were banned from cards right at 2013, 2014
I
when
just
they
learned
merged.
that. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's
Oh,
crazy. So
huh.
that's why, when you see the Marvel Masterpieces 2016, the
Yeah,
Silver Surfer's in there,
you're right.
right?
Yeah.
Joe painted it in 2013.
Wow.
So it
Huh.
got there right under the wire. So they were able to put it in there because it was before the agreement. But
That is
no sketch
interesting.
cards.
I did
Nope.
not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No sketch cards, no nothing, just
Yeah.
that
Wow. Interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's why I did that because I was, well, it's perfect. It stops. It's over. You know what I mean? And like, I'm still doing it, obviously, because I have a problem. But
Yeah. Right. For
in my
sure.
head, I'm like 2014.
Yep. I love it.
So 80s and 90s for you, right? So what do
Mhm.
you think about 66 and all these older sets as well then?
I really like them, and I'll probably collect them one day. But right now, since they're Wolverine's not in there, and I'm too obsessed with mints and all this stuff, like that would be a really expensive endeavor for me to say, okay, I want the 66 set and all eights or higher, or all nines or higher, because that just is just out of control. So the 66 set is like an amazing set to me that I've just put my foot down and said I'm not doing it right now.
I
Like
love that.
yeah, yeah. Because I don't have self control with a lot of sets, but that one I do. I think just because it's so expensive, you know.
Yeah.
So
And it's always been tough find, and it's
yeah.
always been a tough grade.
Oh yeah.
Um, like when we saw Jusco's set at CGC, it was just like it really was like out of the box in a binder. He wasn't kidding because I told him I broke the news to him. I was like, these might not do well,
Yeah.
and they're horribly off centered too.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize, and the vibrancy of color is really rough too.
Yeah.
Like it's just a miserable experience to grade those. He
What do
got
you
he got
think?
lucky.
What do you think a sealed box of that would be worth right now if you had to guess?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about seal boxes for me.
Hmm.
I understand why someone wants a seal box.
Hmm.
And I get it. Like I had a sealed 2013 Fleer Retro box that I somehow stumbled into. Just
Wow.
stumbled into it. I don't even know how that even happened.
Yeah.
And I stumbled into it and eventually sold it. And I was keeping it for me and I was like, I just think this box is too important to like the whole thing of Marvel. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Sure.
It's just it's not because of the PMGs though. I know the PMGs cost a lot of money, yada yada yada. But the reason I thought it was an important box is because it celebrates the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It has all the retrofitted cards and those
Sure.
autographs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that was such an important thing, and it's like a good history point for the hobby.
Hmm.
But I don't have a lot of money, so eventually I have to sell things if it gets stupid.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
a 66 box in good condition, it's just a crazy piece. Like I mean, to buy that piece would mean that that's like museum level stuff at that point.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you don't open it, you keep it sealed, and when eventually we have our Marvel Card Con which
Yeah.
I'm hoping happens, which you will have to be a big part of it.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that stuff.
All right.
A big part of it. I want to have us to have like a little library section where it's like glass cases and all the crazy big stuff kind of around. You know what I mean?
That would be awesome.
It'd just be awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, we deserve it. No one else cares, so we have to do it ourselves,
Right.
unfortunately.
Right. It's true. Yeah.
No one else gives a shit, so we're gonna have to do it ourselves. But I think that would be just a really cool thing, and like to put a price on it, I wouldn't have a price on it. I mean, I would imagine it would have to be over like 20 or 30,000. Like
Yeah.
it would just have to be
I would think
because
over 20. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah.
it would just have to be because it would just be too, and the condition would matter too. Like I've seen 66 empty boxes, but they look like a crane hit them. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
would have to depend on that. But it's an important set, you know. I celebrate 1990 as a personal thing because it's a set that was done by Marvel officially,
Yeah.
and it was thought through by Marvel, and the people who drew the cards were drawing for trading cards. You know what I mean? They weren't stenciled, they weren't copies, they weren't done by staffers. Like a lot of the cards in 90, that was the first time you had legendary Marvel bullpen artists drawing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Makes a lot of sense to me. And that's not to knock 66 or any of the comic images sets, which are miserable to grade
Yeah.
and are absolutely beautiful. But just for me, I look at 1990 a little differently.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah. Let's look at some of the comments here and we'll start wrapping up here. I know I went over the 40 because I decided to talk forever and I know I'm
No.
freezing up. So sorry. I decided recently. I love that, Bryce.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, man. Pay the artist direct, support the artists because they deserve it.
Yeah.
100%. Thank you, Bryce. I love that comment. Thank you, buddy. You're so nice. Thank you, Nostalgic. I appreciate it. Hey, Melfi, thank you for being here, man. Appreciate you. Did someone say something? I think it's more of a support group. Pretty much. Pretty much. I gotta have Josh on here. I have so many of these interviews with all of you guys. It's crazy. So last couple of things, Michael. Is there anything about character collecting? Because I think of you as a character collector. I always have. I know you do a lot more than just character.
Yeah. No, I consider myself too a character collector. Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, awesome. So that's why I want to have you on here because you're such a big example for me. Do you think it's what do you think is important for? And this is the last question I'll ask you.
All right.
What do you think is important for character collecting in the future for people who decide to do this? Where the hobby is going to go and how people will advance what it is to be a character collector.
So you were a little choppy. I know you got a storm going on outside your house.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll repeat it.
Yeah.
The future of character collecting.
I think it'll only grow and get more popular. And just like people have collected players since the beginning of time, they get obsessed with certain sports players. I think the same thing's happening and is going to continue to happen with Marvel. And I love having conversations with people that are just brand new into getting into character collecting, or maybe they haven't done it in 20, 30 years since they were a kid. And they talk to me and they say, Michael, where should I start? What should I do? And I always say the same thing, man. I want people to start with something that they love, like something that it's fun, right? Because I've seen so many people, and I've done this with certain other characters, right? I get involved in collecting another character, and I'm like, I don't really care about this character. Then I end up selling them because I'm just kind of testing the waters, or I'm in a different type of mood that day, and it's just not that fun, right? If you branch out, but if you have your main ones that you just enjoy, that's just a great place to start. I think.
Love that.
Yeah.
So good, Michael. Thank you, man. I agree because like I've seen people get burned out. You're going to get burned out by this hobby. I'm sure a lot of people now are getting burned out by this hobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the prices are new, things have gotten astronomical, and things are getting out of hand now in terms of prices and cards. And not to say they won't retain their value or people won't pay for it or people are going to be paying more money for them, but looking at what Fanatics is doing, looking at what the companies are starting to do with cards, truthfully, no company is going to care. It's the people that care. It's the people that collect them that care. That's it. At the end of the day, that's what it is. I do my thing with CGC. You do your thing with BGS because you're the person that makes them look like they care. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
it's true, you know, and they respect you for that, and they treat you well, and that's the way to do it. You know what I mean? Because companies out there to make money, but it's the people you get in the community, you know what I mean, that like keep this stuff alive and keep everyone excited and having fun. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah,
I think that's important to realize that for a lot of people. And I love your answer. I think 100%. Not only do you collect what you love, but the thing that really brings you excitement. And that's why I had you show those cards, because I want people to know that yes, do you have crazy stuff? Of course you do. You know, you crazy stuff, like amazing things that just should that just you're surprised they even exist. You know what I mean? Because they're so wonderful. Um, but it's the core stuff. You know what I mean? It's the stuff that like I don't know. It's the stuff that brings that smile to your face type of thing. You know.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
I love it, Michael. Michael, this has been so nice. We're gonna do more. I know this is a short time period, but I gotta edit these, and I don't want to. I don't want to keep you on forever. But if you're okay with it, I'm definitely gonna have you on more as a regular. We'll do a bunch of stuff,
Good.
and we'll do roundtables. I'll have an Avengers round and an X-Men roundtable that you'll be on, and
Awesome.
we'll open. Yeah, we'll do some really fun stuff. Let me just
Awesome.
get to the last things. How do you guys got a statue? Can I finally build a pillar? Yes, Ryan. Finally, man. It's what's up. It's good stuff, man. Got to get a statue. Come on,
Yeah.
at least one, a Bowen or something, man. Hey, Bob. Thank you, man. Nice to see you. Character collecting is really fun, especially with how massive sets are now. That's
True.
another thing I see character collecting building up on.
I agree with that.
100%. And
And
I
and
think what's yeah,
to go on with that point, I love the fact that we're not going to ever have the aspect that sports players have, which they kill somebody, they do drugs, or they whatever, cheat on their wife, and they go to shit, right? Like
yeah.
it's not going to happen with Marvel collectors. That's a good thing.
It's
So
an amazing thing, and it's such a and I talk about this a lot, and I'm so glad you brought it up, but, like, the IP's being protected. That's
yeah,
super important. Like, you know, now that Disney has Marvel, I ain't worried about anything. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And
yeah,
that's a huge comfort to me.
yeah.
It just is. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm not worried about these not existing in 20, 30 years.
Well, think about this. What if sports cards came out with the cool set in 1966, and then basically there was nothing until like the 80s? Think about that. If sports cards was that fresh and new to the world, I mean, think about how far Marvel cards has come, as new as we are comparatively speaking to sports cards.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy if you think about it like that.
And it's an amazing way to think about it. And I
Yeah,
think it's that eye opener experience, right? Where you're like,
yeah,
oh, I get it. Like I see it now. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I don't know. I'm happy we're here. I'm happy with the people I know. I'm happy we're doing this at least because I'm having a
yeah.
lot of fun with you, my friend.
Me too. Yeah.
Um,
Let me know the next time. Please let me know. I love being on
please, we're
the
gonna we're gonna do stuff. It's gonna happen. Maybe I'll just do like a single character, like a Wolverine collector. Get you, Joshua, Johnny.
I'm
We'll
down.
just do a whole thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have fun. Thanks for coming. X-Men Roundtable for sure.
Yep.
Hulk smash everyone. Good day. Yes. Michael Mari Planet, show your Wolverine card game number 2. Oh, perfect.
Good.
Good.
I
More
love it.
videos on Wolverine collectors on Joshua's channel. Don't miss out. Um, I think it's when you gotta take that next time. Thank you, Michael, so much for doing this,
Thank you,
brother.
man. Thank you.
Seriously.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. I let you go. If the live was really choppy, which I know it was, I'm going to download this video and put it on my regular side as well. So it's not only acting as a live video. So there should be no interruptions. So if it was tough for you to watch, no worries. This will be preserved and put a little archive and more to come. All right, everyone. Thank you, and catch you later.